In the gallant days when history hung on the flight of an arrow or the slash of a sword, when feudal barons ravaged the countryside to live in pomp and splendor.
It is truly colorful, exciting, fascinating entertainment every minute of the way.
Moonsea Adventures.
Hello and welcome back to the Moonsea Adventures. The party is here, and at the tail end of the last episode, pun very much intended, they were able to befriend and convince a group of Lizardmen scouts that they were in fact here to aid the lizard folk in their current situation. Angler's ability to mentally project these messages to them and transcend the language barrier allowed you guys to convince that you were servants of the lizardman god Semuanya. And now they brought you, a few of you disguised, into the ruins of the keep, where it looks like the majority of the forces aligned with the Black Dragon Cherna reside. So they brought you to Viz, who they consider one of their leaders, and then Viz joined them and you as you all left the Citadel and returned to the hiding spot a few hundred yards away from the Citadel, from the keep. So that is where we will pick up. So Viz is looking at you guys, and at this point now, he and the other scouts have sat down on this dry spot of land that you were in. Viz leans forward to you guys, and he sees the first person that he recognizes is Ushun. And he says, "You have returned. My scouts say that you are here because Semuanya has sent you to help us."
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but I guess we are here, and our mission was to find the resting place of a great power that is rising. We have found that resting place now, and we are expecting more fighters to come this way. However, we know that in the Moonwatch Hills, the actual Moonwatch has been destroyed by the dragon, and the wall of trees that was set up to protect the Moonwatch Hills from the Thar has also been destroyed by the dragon. We don't know where our army is. I am not fond of the prospect of fighting an adult black dragon. After the description of what my friend Harley has given me. So there are other ways to defeat a more powerful foe. One of these would be to help others who are trying to defeat this more powerful foe. In Melvont, there are people who are alive, have formed an alliance. We were sent by them and provisioned by them. They are our friends. They can be your friends too. They are ready to fight for their own survival, just as I understand the lizard folk are. That may be the next step in our quest.
He nods, and he kind of looks to either side to his scouts. And then he kind of looks back at the group and he says, "My people are in prison beneath," and he points towards the citadel, "under the ruined keep castle. Many guards, kobolds, but also dangerous thing. Cherna child."
Wait. So there's a youngling dragon?
Yes. Cherna child live in cave under keep. Cherna child watch kobolds and prisoners made to work. They dig rock. And he turns to his scouts and he rattles off some stuff in Lizardman, and they shrug, they shake their head. He says, dig rock for to find, and he like looks at all of you. Are any of you wearing any sort of jewelry by any chance?
No.
I've got a bone necklace
He says,
that I got from that shaman.
He says, is like what you have, but made
Gems?
Shiny stones?
Yes. Yes.
Magical shiny stones?
Cherna seek magic shiny stone.
I see.
All prisoners make dig for mountain. Find stone under keep.
What have they found so far?
No
rock
find.
and dirt? Rock and dirt?
Yes, no find.
Let's make a history check.
Our people, women, children, old, make to dig, and other prisoners too.
Humans, elves, dwarves?
Yes, some.
Is there chance for us to get there unseen?
Is very many kobold.
Like this, and I change to very tall kobold.
He says, is many kobold make prisoner work, and child of Cherna watching.
I want to make a history check to see if I know anything about these magic shiny stones or stuff like that.
Okay.
May I roll Arcana?
Sure. Would you get a 1?
No. Natural 20.
Okay.
I got
Well,
7.
From a history perspective, you don't know about any magical shiny stones in in the Thar. However, you do know that many of like the keeps and castles in the Thar, before they were kind of overrun by monsters, had been built by previous civilizations. Some of which were dwarven, some of which were human. You don't really know about any elves ever having been in the Thar. But it's possible that some of these castles, some of these keeps, may have had mining operations. But you don't really know about anything specific to like shiny crystals or magic crystals or anything like that.
And this is Ushun thinking. This is not spoken. However, there are treasure rooms in keeps that are locked and sometimes hidden. I should talk to Angler about this. Anyway, I'm done.
All right, so Viz looks at you and he says, "Is two-way for go to down under. Go up to keep and downstairs, but must pass many kobold. Or go to around, find cave open, and make pass dragon. No sea." And he says, and he looks at Harley and he says, "You make look like kobold." He says, "You are wizard?
Sir.
You make so cannot see?"
I can make a few not to see. We may go through and the dragon not see us, but only few.
I have an idea. Viz, how much goodwill do you personally have with the dragon?
Dragon,
None?
he says, "Ishterka no go under. Only kobold and prisoner.
Exactly.
Ishterka no go under. Only do scout.
Right.
Dragon no pass Ishterka. No."
Well, tell you what, there's another way to get in. We could be prisoners, or some of us could be prisoners. Some of us could go another way. I'm willing to be a prisoner.
The dragon might ask questions.
He says,
Not the youngling.
he says, "For get in maybe, but how get out my people? How get out other Ishterka? How?"
Okay.
Ask dragon.
Okay. I clear off the ground.
Dragon, they're small.
Yes. Child of Cherna.
I clear off the
Not
ground.
that strong.
He says, "Is still dragon."
Well, I clear off the ground and I make a circle. And I say, this is keep.
He sees what you're doing. He takes the edge of his dagger and he draws basically what looks like to you like a road. And then he draws like the square in the center of the keep. And he says, this path for go up. He says, cave here, and he goes to the other side of the circle. So basically opposite of where you guys are now, on the other side of the mountain that the keep is built on, and he draws like a little cave entrance. He says, you can bring dragon out, make come out, and we go in for save people, prisoner.
Well, I was thinking it'd be nice to have someone on the inside.
Yes,
To,
must make free. Prisoners have metal
Yeah.
rope.
Yeah, I'll pull out mine and I'll show him. Like these, I got manacles.
Yes.
Okay. Put those back.
For leg, can no run.
Hmm.
Must break metal rope.
Okay, I'll pick up a stick and I'll idly twiddle it in my fingers and then put it between my fingers and just go snap. I am strong.
Turn to
I don't know
Ushun.
I don't know if I can break the manacles, but
That was my question.
yeah. I believe it would be good to have someone inside.
Wait, don't you have a length of chain? Or no? I might be thinking
Small.
of something else.
Hey, yeah, that's right. I could manacle myself.
No, but you do have a length of chain?
I have rope and
No, okay. I was thinking of something else.
a hook.
All right, so you infer that he's talking about chains, not just
Yeah.
manacles.
Gotcha.
So Viz says, is way for sneak in. Must kill kobold guards. Free prisoners. And bring out. But no can bring out if dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can get in, and I can do that very easily with all of you, but what would be our plan to escape?
How would you subdue the youngling black dragon?
I'll kill it.
I mean, mechanically speaking, you can attack it and do damage and just declare that those efforts are non-lethal in nature. So like, whoever does the last few attacks on the dragon declares that it's non-lethal, so that you're effectively knocking it out.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively,
Well,
once you drop it to 0 or below, you're just knocking it unconscious.
Well, I'm not sure that I can do that with Eldritch Blast or.
Well, you
Hellish
can,
Rebuke,
because
but-
Eldritch Blast is force damage. So it would be, it's basically the same as using weapons in a non-lethal way.
Okay,
Using a club.
that's good to know.
Mm.
So we can try that. Possibly on our way out.
Well, see, the problem is, I'd like to rally those who are able to rally and to get ready to run when they are freed and help us defeat the dragon. But I do not speak your language.
Well, I can take care of that, but I don't have magical item for that.
Mm.
Well, I need particular clay statue.
He says, is prisoner human. Human, but can speak. Can speak Ishterka.
Ishterka. What means?
Inside, he can speak like us.
Common, you mean?
He speak common, and he speak dragon like us.
Kuma.
Human.
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 He points to Harley. Is human.
Oh.
Well, I'm not a human, but thank you.
He says, you can go in?
Well,
and
we
dragon
can.
will see you?
Most certainly.
You find human, free, him help tell to our people, and make ready for run.
Down in the mines. Many kobold guards. Okay, that could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You make sneak go in, free Ishterka. You make dragon sleep, and Ishterka run free. Scouts bring out and to go safe.
No, that's an idea. Can you cast sleep?
Well,
Who are you talking to? To Harley?
Harley? Or Niels? Or Angler?
Well, not exactly, and I think that this spell in particular is not very good against dragons, but we can subdue the dragon by force, and we may let it live.
He says, you must hurry, cannot wait. Cherna, return.
Okay,
do you
lead the way.
To cave?
Yeah. We will make that.
You see he barks off some orders to the other lizardmen, and they all stand up, they grab their shields and their spears, and then they once again line up single file. And Viz walks with you guys, and he says, come, follow. Must move quiet. Sneak. So you guys walk for quite a ways. It seems like they're going kind of far out of the way to sort of avoid detection from any of the other kobolds that might be up. And you're still in the dense fog. And about a half an hour later, they start moving in towards what you assume is kind of the northern end of this mountain. And they pause there. You waiting here. Viz, go see. Scout dragon. Stay quiet. And Viz heads off to the north. And then you see him just disappear in the fog.
Okay, guys, listen. When the lizard folk returns, I will cast invisibility on all of us. You have to be quiet, and you cannot cast spells. You cannot attack anybody unless you want to become visible again. You can speak quietly, so that's that, but we are risking detection. So I implore you to be quiet and, well...
We can't see each other either, can we?
Well, it doesn't matter. We can go in, and that's that. But
Yes, but we should have a signal and, have a plan of attack. Like, one
okay,
of us...
don't worry. When I start blasting, everyone can make their moves.
Sounds good to me. Niels? Syllar?
Yep.
As you guys are
good.
waiting there, you're waiting there for a fair amount of time. Harley, you suddenly get a message from your familiar Murmur. And you look through his eyes and you see him flying into Melvaunt. And you see him actually landing at the rooftop entrance to the inn.
And I haven't, and he did not see any army marching towards the Thar.
No.
Okay.
Although, I will say you don't need to make a roll, but geographically, he wouldn't have seen an army because they would have been going northwest, and he went straight east from the Moonwatch Hills to Melvaunt.
Okay.
So, you see he lands and he contacts you and he's like, Master, the servant of the Night Lady is inside. Should I reveal myself to him?
Yes.
Okay. Inside you see Rakul, and Murmur goes over to Rakul and reveals himself, and Rakul turns and draws a blade, and then he's like, what is it? And he puts his blade back.
And I speak through Murmur. The Moonwatch Hills were ambushed by the dragon. All the trees of the defensive line that the Mad Druid sent there were vanquished. And right now, we are waiting for our scout to return, because there may be potential allies enslaved by the dragon.
He says, "You have found the dragon's lair?
Yes.
Our people are en route. They have been marching, and they should be heading northwest. You must find them and bring them to the lair." He said, "What kind of defenses does this dragon have? What sort of minions does serve it?"
Well, at the moment, there are kobolds, many of them, and some lizard folk that are not willing to fight for the dragon, but are enslaved by the dragon. Right now, we are trying to free them and free other people that are down under the dragon's keep, and they may be potential allies for us. What's more important, there is an offspring of the dragon, and we may or may not deal with it, but we will certainly try. After we rescue those people, we'll try to move away as quickly as possible. If your army arrives, we will be long gone, and the dragon may be furious. They have to be very cautious.
He says, what can you tell me about the location? I will tell the Night Lady, and she will send a sending to the leader of the army. Where can it be found? What sort of markers can you tell me?
Okay, I'm trying to remember the position of that.
I'll let you go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Oh, okay. I'm not very intelligent.
It's more like you're kind of remembering where you travel.
That's good. Intelligence, it's 19.
Okay. So you kind of describe how far you guys traveled, you give him some sense of the terrain, and then most importantly, you tell him about when you get closer, how there's like a deep fog and a lot more flies and other kind of mysterious elements. And Rakul says, I will relay this information to the Night Lady. He says, do what you can, as much as you can, to find out every possible danger related to the dragon.
We will, and be careful. The dragon was on the prowl the night before, and he may be on the prowl in the next few days. We may be gone out of his sight, but he may know where those soldiers came from, and he may not be very merciful, but just be safe.
He says, yes, black dragons never are.
And send my regards to the Night Lady.
I will. And then as he turns and walks inside, Murmur asks you, where now shall I go, Master?
Well, can you return to me? I think we may need you here. But be careful. Fly invisibly. And be wary of the dragon. If everything goes to plan, we may see each other in about a day, so make haste, my friend.
Yes, Master. Few more minutes go by, and then Viz returns. And he says, the dragon is in the cave. He is 50 steps inside cave. There is cavern on left side where he sleep. After is where they do prisoners digging and kobolds. He says, must be very quiet and magic for not seeing. Yes, you can do, wizard?
I surely can.
He says, we will wait outside cave open for prisoners come and take to safe.
Okay, that'll be great.
He says, you must find in human prisoner who speak our language, for to tell our people must come out.
How does he look?
He is he kind of points to Harley, and he says he's human, skin, hair, and he points to like a leather pouch. Hair is like this color, so it's like a brown.
Is he tall like me or short like Angle?
No, he's between.
Or like Syllar over there?
Is strong, but not tall. I do not know name of human.
Are there more humans?
He says he asks a question to the other lizard folk, and then they communicate back and forth for a few moments, and then he says, no, other humans die in prisoners.
Okay.
Most other humans weak, not strong, they sick, they die. is maybe some dwarf and maybe some elf prisoner, but we think is only this one human left.
Okay, well that may make it easier to recognize him.
This Uman, does he have hair
No
on his
much.
face?
No much. Maybe little.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's time for us to go.
Yeah, I think it's time for you to do your thing, Harley.
Okay, I
He says-
correct my...
I will take you to cave. Then you make magics for no sea. He says, but must be quiet, no waking dragon. He says, come. And again, they go in single file. Now this time you all need to make some stealth checks.
Oh boy.
I would say I would check my gear, tie everything down a bit better to reduce the noise-making chances.
Okay.
Oh, good idea. I'll do that too.
Okay, I have 18 without any preparations.
Okay, Angler.
30.
Good God.
That's a natural 20.
Okay, Ushun
8.
and Syllar.
13.
Okay. All right. You guys follow Viz, and he leads you through the fog, and you arrive about 25 feet away from a very large cave opening. And it looks as if it's maybe naturally formed, but then someone or something carved out more of it to kind of expand it. It is like 20 feet wide and about 15 feet tall. And Viz points to the cave. And then he kind of steps back.
Okay,
All right, Harley, you're up.
I crack my fingers. Okay, remember what I told you. No attacking anybody. No casting spells. Be very silent. And then I do some magical gestures.
Okay.
I spend a spell slot and I make I make all of them invisible.
How many spell slots is that?
I spend one spell slot and it's 4th level, so it's 4 creatures.
Okay.
Three creatures, sorry. And I change myself to the most convincing kobold you've ever seen.
Okay, so you still look like a large kobold, though.
I have to. I have no chance of doing invisibility on 4 creatures.
Okay. All right, so you're leading the way. The rest of you are invisible. So as you approach, you see inside of the cave, it's dark. There's no light for at least the next, 60 feet. Who has dark vision and who does not?
I actually don't care because I have Devil's Sight, so I can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical.
Okay.
Dark
So
vision.
you continue to stroll in. Angler, what are you doing for?
Sight.
Yeah.
That I like grabbed Harley's hand.
Okay. So you're
and
kind of
reached back
following
for
Harley,
someone else. Yeah.
and then Ushun and Syllar, you're behind. So you guys
take
begin,
up the rear.
okay, so you guys begin moving in. You proceed about 50 feet in as quietly as you can. And then off to the left, you see, well, everybody except Angler, you see this larger kind of cavern that looks like it was not natural, like it was definitely carved out. And it's pretty deep. It's about 50 feet deep all the way around. And in the center of this area, you see piles of not coins, but like raw ore. Like you see silver and gold, just big chunks of it, not even cleaned up, like still with rock attached to it. And you see sleeping next to one of those piles is a black dragon.
A tiny one?
No, it's still decent sized, but it's definitely not as big as the enormous dark shadow that you saw flying over the sky. I assume that you continue. Okay, how long does this spell last?
An hour.
And you're concentrating. Okay, so you continue, and you go another 50 feet in, and as you're going in, you begin to hear like the sound of like dozens of hammers and picks hitting hard surfaces. You hear the cracking of whips. You hear orders being barked off in a language that you are fairly certain is Draconic. You hear people crying out in pain. And after another 50 feet, you see a series of tunnels. So there's like 6 different tunnels in almost every direction. And down each of these tunnels, you see torches, and you see kobolds, probably 24 kobolds in this area. And the way it looks is as if the prisoners are mining from each of these tunnels, and then they're bringing back these carts to this central area. And the kobolds in the central area are looking through the different carts. They dump them, they kind of pick through them, and then they tell prisoners to start breaking apart other rocks. You see, like, past this initial area, further into the mountain, is another area where there's a big, dirty pool of water. And you see another group of prisoners, like, breaking down the rocks even further and cleaning them up in the water, and then putting the ore that's been harvested into carts. So it looks like they have like kind of the mining tunnels, and then this central area, and then like the pool.
Just a question. Was the entrance to the mine large enough for that dragon?
Yes. Maybe not to fully like stand up and fly out of, but definitely to kind of crouch through and exit.
Okay. That's that.
I'm looking for the human.
Okay, well, you don't see any humans. What you see, the prisoners that you see in this big central nexus area are all lizard folk, young and old, all of them in manacles, and then chained in groups of like 4 to each other.
And those 24 of goblins, kobolds, were the only guards there, or there is more?
In the central area, you see 24 kobolds, but you hear sounds coming from all 6 of the other mining tunnels.
Yeah, okay. Okay, guys. Try to look for that human. I'll try to blend in.
Okay, so how are we going to proceed with this?
I forgot to do something before I entered the cave, so I have to do it now. I'm just going to quietly, slowly go through my pack and find the keys for the manacles.
Okay.
Just hang on to that.
Okay. To make it a little more understandable, just imagine that like I said, there are 6 mining tunnels. So they're not actually labeled, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And where's the first one?
Just imagine like radiating out, like left to right.
Okay, left to right.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was just sticking with Syllar and Ushun.
Okay. Well, you don't see Ushun, but and you don't see Syllar.
As best I can. Just
So
feel around for him.
I'm assuming that you're still tagging along with the only person you can see.
Where?
Real quick, Harley, make me a performance check.
Okay, performance. Deception is better for me.
Well, you're not interacting with anybody. You're pretending to be a large kobold. So
well, it's 21.
That's good enough.
I'm just like hunched and sneaking around.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
I'm looking for the tunnel closest to the least number of kobolds.
Well, you don't see any of the kobolds guarding any of the tunnels. Like, the kobolds are all supervising the prisoners that are working in this big central cavern. So there's...
I just don't want to bump into anybody.
Right. No, I mean, well, here's the thing. Coming from each of the tunnels, coming out of each of the tunnels every once in a while, you'll see like a group of like 3 or 4 lizard folk bringing out a cart and then dumping it in the thing, and then they go back in.
Okay.
And that's probably like every 10 or 15 minutes you see one of those.
Okay.
Are there any kobolds around me?
No, I'm going to assume that you're kind of just at the entrance to this central cavern and you're looking into it, so...
Okay, I'll just creep up to the entrance number 6.
Okay.
And I try to look for any kobold that's near it.
So you look down the tunnel for tunnel number 6, and you see about every 20 feet there's a torch that's there's a sconce nailed into the wall and then a torch hanging from it, and you could see workers picking and hammering at the rock walls.
Okay,
you don't see any kobolds.
And those workers are like
lizard folk.
All lizard folk. Okay.
So far, all you've seen are lizard folk.
Okay, I'll try to look for any other race.
Okay.
That's maybe captured there.
All right. Syllar, where are you going?
I'm following Harley.
Okay, you can see him.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just staying behind him, or are you going in further?
I'm going to try and sneak in ahead of him if I see him entering into number 6.
All right. You are invisible, and it's very loud, so you don't need to make a stealth check because there's a constant sound of hammering and picks. You kind of bob and weave your way through. You see that in these tunnels, there's like little side niches where they're working on hammering and stuff. And at the very end of tunnel number 6, working with a group of 2 lizard folk, you see a dwarf. And the dwarf looks very gaunt, very thin, malnourished. And you see him kind of like looking at the rock, and then he'll kind of take his time, and then he'll go and pick at the rock. That's what you see.
All right.
So you figure there are about 12 lizard folk and a dwarf in this tunnel.
Yeah. I come up to the dwarf and really quietly in dwarfish, I'll don't react. We are here and trying to set all of you free. When the time comes, be prepared.
You see he kind of like looks, and he looks at the lizard folk.
Don't look around too much. Be prepared.
In Dwarvish, he says, "Am I going mad?"
No, my friend. You're finally getting aid.
You see he kind of does a slow nod and then continues to like pick.
And then I make my way back towards Harley.
Okay. Smash cut over to Angler. Where are you going?
Let's slip down 5 while they do that.
Okay. You can see, because there are torches, like the other tunnel, it looks pretty organized. And again, you see in this tunnel there are about 12 lizard folk who are working on different areas, different deposits.
There's no kobolds or anything?
No, it doesn't look like any of the guards are in these tunnels right now.
Okay.
Ushun, where are you going?
Are these tunnels large enough that I can walk down them, or that
you would have to like stoop.
I'm just wondering if the carts will get by me. Because I was thinking of trying to jump into a cart and being taken down there.
Yeah, you would ruin your invisibility spell.
Okay.
Because your additional weight, it doesn't look like these are like they're easy to lift. Like you see the people bringing carts out are struggling.
Okay.
They're full.
Well, I'll follow a cart going down tunnel number 4.
Okay. You go down tunnel number 4 and you actually don't see that many workers. The way it looks is it looks like this tunnel maybe has had more work done. Like the alcoves that have been dug out for mining are on both sides, like every other torch basically. Like there's a big chunk that's dug out. And then you get about halfway through and you see that the torches stop and it looks like there was some kind of cave-in. Like structurally, like this mine tunnel caved in.
Do I hear anything on the other side?
No. It seems to just be solid rock.
Okay.
Harley, what are you doing?
Okay, I try to go around, find anyone, kobold or dwarf or elf, and I want to creep on that person, grab it. I don't care at this point if it's like the prisoner or the guard, and intimidate it.
Human, where? Human.
And I'm still like hunched over and pretending to be very large kobold.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
Okay. Ooh, that's bad. 12.
I'm gonna roll. You got a 50-50 chance of grabbing a kobold or a lizard person. You ask one of the lizard people, and the lizard person's like, "Human?" And the lizard person looks between you and the kobold guards that are like 20 feet away. And then the lizard person points to tunnel number 3.
I let him go and I go straight to the 3.
Okay. You
Straight but hunched.
so
Did
you're
I hear that interaction?
no, I'm going to say that this is when you were exploring 6. You begin to head down tunnel number 3, and you notice that this is this tunnel has again about 12 lizard folk, and towards the end of the tunnel, with your super dark vision and extended range, you see a human. His back is to you, but you see him hammering at a wall and then like setting another pick and hammering.
Okay, I come to him very carefully, not to be hit by that pick he's wielding. And in my I look around if there are no kobolds to hear me.
Well, when you came down, like
Okay.
the lizard folk like started working faster and like looked at you. You could tell kind of fearfully. But you get down towards the end of the tunnel, and he's working. He doesn't seem to have noticed you behind him.
I tell him with my normal voice, well, normal human voice, like, you are the man who speak Ishterka.
He turns and he looks at you, and when he turns, you notice he is pretty well built, and he turns and he says, "Yes, you speak common tongue?"
Yes, I'm here to save you, all of you.
He looks confused. He's like, "Is this a trick? You're here to trick me?"
I change me very quickly to a human. No, I don't, and I change back.
You could tell that he's startled. He's like, "Oh, I don't understand. What is it that you want?"
Well, I promised to someone called Wiz that I get all those prisoners here outside.
What about the dragon?
Well, we take care of the dragon, you take care of the prisoners.
He says, "Okay, well, how will we know when the time comes?"
Well, there's not so many kobolds as I saw.
There are many more above.
Yeah,
He
do
says,
they have...
If they raise the alarm, they will all come.
That was
the dragon will awake.
Yeah, that was my question. And trust me, I want that big lizard to wake up. Well, not that very big lizard upstairs, but the big lizard down there.
He says, "The alarm, it is on the far side of the cavern, past the pool. There's a great wooden post with bells and a rope. If they ring that alarm, those above will hear it."
Okay, is there any possibility to sabotage it?
Yes. If you kill the guards near it, or cut the rope, then they could not ring the alarm.
And in my kobold form, I hunch down.
I will.
How will we know? How will we know when the time comes for us to escape?
Well, and I look on those shackles they have, and they are like able to walk or run with them. Are they only handcuffed or also with the leg cuffs
We can walk, but we cannot run. The chains are too short.
Well, maybe
Says,
some of my...
But if we know some kind of signal, we could hammer the chains.
Okay, here's the deal. When you stop hearing the dragon roar, you'll get out of there.
I will spread the word to the Ishterka and tell them to be ready.
Okay. When the dragon stops roaring, it's your time to shine. Now let me deal with that alarm.
You see he walks, after you walk away, he walks over to the nearest lizard folk and begins speaking their tongue to them.
I just pull my fanged dagger I picked in one of our earlier adventures, and I'm just like crawling very slowly with dragon-like confidence towards that post with the alarm.
Okay. Smash cut back to Syllar. You are still invisible. You come out of tunnel number 6, and you see the large kobold moving further into the cavern towards the pool.
Yeah, and I recognize that as the Harley/kobold feature.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here quick. Well, I suppose I recognize that he's probably found some.
You don't recognize whatever he's found, but you see him moving towards the back of the cavern.
Yeah. So he's probably knowing what he's doing. So I'm gonna go into tunnel number 2.
Okay. Tunnel number 2 is similar to the tunnel you were in, except at the end of this, not even at the end, like in the middle of this tunnel, chained to 3 lizard folk, you see an elf. And the elf looks badly beaten, like bruised, just wearing tattered cloth and very weak looking. And the elf just is doing his best to try to hammer.
Okay. I approach him in a similar fashion as I did the dwarf. And as I quietly tell him in Elvish, of course, basically the same as I did with the dwarf,
Okay.
warning him to make ready.
Make me a persuasion check.
Ooh, net 20.
Oh, perfect. So he's so smooth, like you're so effective that he doesn't do any visible reaction, but he just quietly in Elvish he responds, and he says, "I will be ready. Thank you."
But you will know when it's time to act and try and get these lizard folk with us on the way out. And then I quietly check for more if there's any. I ask him if there's other elfin or dwarvish in this area.
He says there may be, but I do not know which tunnel.
Okay, so
Keep
not
us
here.
separated.
Okay, and then I'll sneak back out of the tunnel.
Okay, Angler, what are you doing?
Did I see Harley?
You do.
Okay,
And
I will...
Ushun, you also see Harley. As each of you are emerging from your respective tunnels, you see large kobold Harley making his way towards the back of the cavern, towards the pool.
And would I have any idea of how long I have left to be invisible?
Oh, you figure you've got a good plenty of time, maybe 45 minutes.
All right. Seeing Harley's confidence, I'll strut my way over.
Okay. You do. Ushun, what are you doing?
I'm going to see where Harley is headed, what he's headed for.
Well, for as far as you could see, he's walking towards the back of the cavern, towards the pool.
Anything back there? Except the pool?
It's beyond your dark.
Okay. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully put down the butt end of my halberd and draw a circle with a slash through it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to tunnel number 3.
Okay. You go to tunnel number 3. You see lizard folk in there. You see at the very end, no, sorry, in the middle, you see an elf.
Hey. I might have a key for your shackles. Sit still. I'm going to look around for kobolds.
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to try the key in his leg shackle. I'm assuming they're all made kind of the same, but...
Yeah.
You know.
I'll have you make a dexterity check.
Oh, yeah. Real good at this. Let's see. Six.
So the key goes in, but it's not turning. There's something not clicking through.
I will gently take hold of his hand, or maybe he can see it. See what you can do. See what you can do with this key.
Okay. So you leave the key with him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the other shackles that they're wearing. Are they pretty tough looking?
No.
Look like no?
I mean, they're iron shackles.
Well, I'm gonna go to the one on his other leg.
Okay.
And try to pry it apart.
Make a strength check.
This I'm good at. Okay. Here we go. $24, and I'm trying to be quiet.
Well, it's not quiet, but you're effective. You snap the lock, and that shackle is now loose.
Okay. I'm going to snap his other one.
Go ahead.
Strength check. Right. Here we go. This is a 17.
Okay, you do.
Now,
you could tell he looks nervous, but
okay.
He just nods.
Okay, I am invisible, so I don't want to attack things, but if you could communicate to these lizard folk that I am here to undo their shit.
He whispers, he says, I don't know their language.
Then tap one and show him the shackles.
It's not safe. The kobolds come down here every 20 minutes.
Okay.
He says, if they see me with my shackles off, they'll know something's up.
Okay.
They haven't been here in a bit, and they might be coming soon. He's like, I don't know what plan you have, but you'd better enact it quickly.
Okay.
Please.
I will make them look like they're closed.
Okay.
But so that he can get out of them easily.
Okay.
And I say, I may be back.
All right. As you're walking out, you see a kobold guard walking in. The kobold is carrying a whip, and he has a short sword at his side. And you see he's walking slowly and like looking at the lizard folk who are working. And he's about 20 feet away from you, moving towards you.
Okay, I'm going to stop and put myself against the wall as skinny as possible.
Okay. He continues after looking at the first group of lizard folk. He moves over to the middle group, and he's looking now at the lizard folk and the elf. And he keeps walking towards the last group in the tunnel, and he walks past you.
Okay. I will make my way to the mouth of the tunnel.
Okay. Back to Harley. You walk around the pool. You pass a dozen more lizard folk prisoners who are breaking down the larger chunks of ore at the pool, washing them off, chipping away at them, washing them off, and then throwing these cleaned up chunks of ore into these different piles. Fortunately for you, none of the kobold overseers seem to notice you, and you continue walking around the pool. And about 60 feet past the pool, you see a large wooden post with a arm and a big bell and a pulley and a rope. You see 2 kobold guards, and then beyond that, you see stone stairs that seem to go up. And there's intermittently torches in the walls of this stone stairwell going up.
Okay, here goes nothing. Well, I creep to those 2 guards, and I point towards the furthest tunnel there is. I do like trying to signalize them there is some problem back in the tunnels.
Make a performance check.
Okay. Okay, that's not too shabby. 18.
Okay. One of them says, "Carafash, no tibia."
Yeah. Sí. Oh.
Like small person doing
He says, "Carafash, go fisiba," and he points to the bell.
Yeah. Whoa.
Are you beckoning them to follow you?
Well, I'm trying to, but if they are not willing to, I'm not continue to do that. So,
One of them nods and picks up his spear and starts going with you. The other one stays at the pole.
and I'm praying there's somebody from our group.
Angler, you see this interaction.
Oh,
You could tell that Kobold Harley is trying to kind of pantomime. You see him gesturing and pointing and waving them to follow, and you see one of the kobolds follow him, and they start walking back.
I'll go behind the other one.
Okay.
And I'll go for a sneak attack.
All right. You have advantage.
That's 20 to hit.
Oh yeah. All right. Roll that damage.
Uh, 19. And is he dead?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. You go up behind him. You plant
Quietly as I
down,
can. Yes.
and you pull him back. There's like a spot along the wall where you could probably lay him down. Next to where he was standing, again, you see a large wooden pole with a post and a pulley system with a bell and a rope. Nope,
He attacked.
You're not there.
I know, but
I know.
I know. He's visible.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah. The pulley system. If I cut the rope, what would happen?
If you cut the rope, they won't have a means of pulling the rope to ring the bell. But you feel like you would need to cut it fairly high so that the kobolds couldn't reach what's left of the rope. Like, if you tie the rope off towards the top and then cut the remaining length of it, you feel like that would prevent them from reaching it and ringing the bell. So to do that, you'll need to make a climb check first. So athletics.
Athletics, okay. I will attempt to do that. I got a 6.
You're having a hard time climbing up this pole. You're trying to get up there, and it's coated in some kind of oil.
Inspiration, is that an addition, or does that let you re-roll?
I'll let you re-roll that.
Okay. I'll use my inspiration. 30-20.
That'll do it. You quickly you finally manage to get up that, and you wrap the rope, pull it through its own knot, and then pull out your dagger and cut the rest of the rope. You slide down the pole. Make a stealth check.
13.
Okay. As you get down, triumphantly having deactivated the alarm, you drop to the bottom, and you turn around and you see a kobold guard looking at you with his spear. And he goes to lunge at you. And that is where we'll end this episode of the Moonsea Adventures. Stay tuned, everybody. Find out on the next episode what happens as the party tries to free the prisoners from Cherna's lair. We'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.